And actually, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Because I know me. And
so that's our life's mission. That's the McShin's mission.
You don't have to understand my boundaries to respect them.
Well, no, I'm the president, co-founder of McShin, a person in long-term recovery from substance use disorders.
How do you go about fixing the damage in the trust between the family after you get out?
Okay, I gotta work on that.
Celebrating my 6 months. Didn't have cake.
Yeah.
Gosh, you showed up.
Hey everyone, welcome to Get in the Herd. I'm your host Layla, and I have my friend Cam here with me today. Hey, what's up, Cam?
Nothing much. Thanks for having me, Layla.
Cam is in recovery as well. So I was just going to ask you to recite your entire life for me from birth. How did you get into recovery? What led you here?
Well, I started my recovery in undergrad in Norfolk about a year and 5 months ago. So February 9th will be a year and 5 months since I've had my last drop of alcohol.
Good job.
And so I just realized that it was, halting me, like keeping me from growing into the person that I wanted to be.
Nice.
Yeah. Hold on. I need a second.
You're good.
It's like, because I can't hear myself.
You can't hear yourself?
No.
Here, do you want...
Which one is
So
it?
it kind of sounds like I'm not talking.
One of them should...
Talk, check. Do you hear yourself?
No.
Check.
Okay, hold on. Keep going.
Is it this one?
I can hear you. Okay, that's better.
Well, is this better?
Is it better?
Is this one me? Or that one? I
Check.
think.
Check.
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 Talk.
Check.
Is this one? This one?
Technical difficulties.
Let's see.
Do you hear you?
Yeah, kind of better. Okay,
Wait,
yeah,
okay,
that
which
is
one
better.
is it?
Here, pull the mic a little closer to you, too.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
for these mics, we talk into the side of them, not the top to the side. So you could just
Okay.
raise it up a little bit.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry.
Do you
I
hear
couldn't
yourself?
Hear it. Yeah,
Can you
it
hear
is
now?
better.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Should we just pick up where we left
Yeah,
off?
that's fine.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay, we're not live. Are we
Okay.
going?
Yeah, we're going.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
okay, you're in the 12-step program, right?
Not really, no. I mean, I was introduced to AA when I first wanted to stop drinking, and the 12-step really isn't what got me sober. It was more like the fellowship and having a community of people that understood what I was going through, because for the longest time I was just surrounded by other college kids just telling me you're too young to be an alcoholic, there's no way you have an issue. And so my second AA meeting is when I got my first white chip, and I haven't had a drink since. So just having that fellowship is really important to me to keep me sober.
But you wouldn't really consider yourself to be in a 12-step program?
No, because I haven't done the steps.
Yeah, I mean, it's different for everyone. I kind of struggle with that too. Going to meetings, I definitely go to some meetings that are really useful for me and get a lot of good stuff out of it. And the whole fellowship idea is incredibly helpful. Sometimes, just being totally honest, it does feel a little bit like a chore for me. And I'm trying to figure out still if that's what's keeping me sober or not. Because, I mean, regardless of me going to meetings, I want to stay sober, clean and sober no matter what. But anyway, tell me more about what kind of things happened. Was there any big event that happened that made you think, okay, I need to get sober? Or was it just a series of things? Or was it a slow burn?
Well, the typical risky behavior taking. In high school, I would drink and drive a lot, although, like, my parents would be like, if you're ever anywhere, like, no matter what, like, no questions asked, I'll come and pick you up. But still, I would decide to drink and drive. And my friends would be like, Cam, you good? I can take you. No, bro, I got this. And so just drinking and driving a lot and just sleeping with people that I probably wouldn't sleep with if I were sober. Talking shit about my friends to their faces. Picking fights at bars and parties. I've just been a very violent person when I'm drinking. So I've like hit people. I hit someone over the head with a bottle one time, and that was really scary. Definitely could have killed him. But so just a lot of like broken relationships.
Have you ever been arrested?
No, I don't know how not, but I haven't, fortunately.
Yeah, luckily.
Yeah.
I haven't either somehow, but I definitely should have been.
Yeah. I got caught like peeing in public one time, but the officer just was like, we got a safe ride coming. Like that was like our the van that like went around and like picked up the college kids. And luckily she just let us go. But
Is that like a college town where you're from?
yeah,
Okay.
from Norfolk.
So they're probably like used to that stuff happening all the time.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, you probably would have got arrested.
Yeah, for sure. University cop.
Damn. Peeing in public.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So when you start drinking, do you like, I know for addicts and alcoholics like myself, like as soon as I put one in me, like this intense like craving or like I can't stop. Like, once, it's they call that like the phenomenon of craving.
Mm-hmm.
So does that happen to you? Like as soon as you start drinking one, like you tell yourself like I'm only a couple, and then like it turns out like you black out and do all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah. So like one or two is never enough. Like
have you ever tried to tell yourself like only two?
Yeah, my first I think for like 3 months there was a span I was trying to moderate it when I was like, if I don't get my shit together, things are gonna get bad. So I actually like downloaded an app on my phone that would like count my drinks, and I would try to stick to like 2 or 3, and then get to that third one. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling good, and
That's
so
how you know.
Yeah,
When you download apps.
exactly.
That's not normal.
It's not, but yeah, there's drinking apps for that. For I guess try and moderate it, even though that's not a thing. Trying to stick to beer. I try to do that. Try to stick to mixed drinks instead of mixing the two. Like what? So yeah, there was no moderation there.
There's also apps that when you're drunk, they lock your phone to prevent you from sending texts to people, which that's something that I probably needed. Yikes. We were talking about this the other day, like what kind of drinkers that we were. And I was saying, like, I would always feel so bad. I would just immediately wake up and start drinking again because my body like depended on it. And it even got to the point where like I had a hard time getting drunk. But you said that you really were like a binge drinker.
Yeah.
Like but you wouldn't ever drink the next morning. You didn't let yourself do that.
No. I think like if I caught myself doing that, then I would be like, oh shit, maybe I do have a problem. So I would just like, suffer through the hangover, like, throwing up my own bile while driving to Popeyes, trying to get something greasy to cure myself. But never would I like wake up and try to,
because that's when it would be
myself.
A problem for you.
Yeah.
And I said, I figured it would be a problem for me when I was binge drinking and like getting really messed up every night and blacking out. So it's like, I was like, I'm fine as long as that doesn't happen. And she was like, I'm fine as long as that doesn't happen. Which is just like, clearly you have a problem. But
yeah.
It's kind of funny.
How long did you drink for? How old are you?
I'm 23.
23.
So I really started drinking when I was 15. And actually, like, it was my birthday. And one evening, I just looked at my dad and was like, I want to try alcohol and smoke. And so he was like, okay, like, as long as you do it here, like, you're safe. Because like, we had, like, a little cabin back behind our house, and so I would have, like, parties back there, and we would all just get really trashed back there, and, as long as we're at the house, we're safe, we're not on the road driving, but that's really where it started, and the first time I drank, we went all out. We got, like, a handle of Fireball and a bunch of Smirnoffs, and I couldn't stop, and I just remember just throwing up so much that night at one point. Like, yeah, it was rough.
And you were like, this is the life I want to live.
Yeah, it didn't stop me. Loved it.
What does alcohol do for you? Like when you do drink, like why do you like to drink when you do?
It is my social lubricant. Like, I didn't realize how bad my social anxiety was until I stopped drinking. And so, like, when I would drink, I could just, dance and not worry, like, anyone's looking at me, or go up and, like, yo, add me on Snapchat, or, like, just, have all these conversations with all these people. And I just loved it. And so that was a big realization for me when I stopped drinking, is just how bad that social anxiety was. So I've just had to, like, relearn a lot going out. Like, when I first stopped drinking and try to go out, I would just, fight or flight. I would flight. Like, I just had to get the hell out of there. And so I've just had to relearn a lot when it comes to social gatherings.
And you're so comfortable now. The first night that I met Cam through some friends was like my first real night going out into like a setting where people were going to be drinking at a bar. And I was so anxious and just like sitting, and like you were just like dancing, like having fun with your buds. And I was like, I asked you how long it took you to feel comfortable sober. And you said like about a year.
That was like 11 months.
Yeah.
You knew the day.
Yeah.
You did say 11 months. But that's something I'm still getting used to. I think in settings, because I struggled socially in settings like not even involving alcohol at first. Like just like, because I was, like I said, I was drinking all day, every day. So like even like making phone calls or like going to the grocery store, like I'm finally getting to the point now where I can talk to people and it's like comfortable. But it's definitely going to take me a long time to get to the point that you're at, to go out into social settings like that and be as comfortable as you are. Like I would have never known. She had a little mocktail, looked totally normal. It was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes time, man.
Yeah.
I'm socially awkward. I just,
Yeah,
you
you
that's
are.
why I do things like this. I am. That's why I do things like this. You like that get me out of my comfort zone. Like during the community meeting we have here, like I don't like being on stage and even just say my name and like what I do here. All that stuff makes me uncomfortable. So it's taking, and I'm a year into this. I'm a little over a year now, but my drug use got really like dark. And once you do it for so long, I'm 35. So once you do it for like a long time, it makes it a little bit more difficult to learn how to be around people and like just be normal or whatever is, whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Social lubricant.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So what do you do now like to deal with that? Or like what things did you do to get more comfortable around people?
So I love learning. So I just like threw myself into books. Like a good one that helped me a lot was Sober Curious by Ruby Warrington. And she just talks about becoming unfuckwithable, which is just like putting yourself in those situations, no matter like right now I'm sweating a lot, but like I know it's going to be okay. And I know like right now I feel a lot better. And how would I feel if I were to like bailed on doing this, So going out in those situations where you typically would need that social lubricant, and just doing it anyways and just finding ways to adapt. So for me, it's just, having a good group of friends that know like your situation and that can like support you through it. And so just finding that community was a big factor for me when I first moved to Richmond. And that was like a big goal of mine, was to find a community. So, and also just like having something in my hand, like in social gatherings. So I know a lot of people will traditionally are against like non-alcoholic beers and stuff because it's like 0.5%. But for me, like I like the taste of beer and it helps me in those kind of gatherings. So I literally like keep those in my car if like I find myself in a social situation where I need to like pull them out so like I can still go. So just putting yourself in those situations and becoming more comfortable and just growing from it has helped me a lot to become more comfortable going out and doing whatever. And just like remembering that everyone feels awkward to a sense, and like, you know, no one's actually looking at you. You're just overthinking. So just trying to redirect myself when I find myself in an environment where I'm like overthinking, and just remembering like no one gives a shit what you look like, Cam. Like just do your thing, dance, do whatever. Like no one cares what you look like. Just have fun.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, I tell myself, like, people are usually just thinking about themselves most of the time. So that usually helps. Or besides Layla, do you hang out with other people that are in recovery? Or is it like the community you're talking about? Like who are those people?
These people, so when I first moved here during the summer, one of my main friends, she isn't in recovery, but she's been like extremely supportive of me, and just making sure like if we go out, because I love going out, and we just make sure like, do they have options for me? Like, do they have non-alcoholic beers? Will they make me pay for my mocktails? Like, you know, and I made it a point to like join club teams. So I joined the Ultimate Frisbee team at VCU and the Rock Climbing Club, and they all are just like super supportive of my decision not to drink. And they always like check in with me like at parties and just make sure that I'm comfortable. So it's just, you know, finding people that are supportive of me rather than like projecting like their own issues, because that's what happened a lot at ODU in Norfolk. Some people would be like, you know, you're too young, you don't have a problem, like what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And rather than supporting me, they were projecting, because more than likely they have their own issue with alcohol themselves.
Nice. Sounds like she's got it together.
Yeah. It does sound like you have it together.
Young too.
Yeah. Is now a good time for a break?
Sure.
No.
Here at McShin, we believe in the McShin way, which is authentic recovery support service providers, people with lived experience, bringing that experience to those who need that lived experience in recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in many things to support our mission. We believe in women empowerment.
What I love most about what we believe here at McShin is we believe in the authenticity of the peer-to-peer approach.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in giving people opportunity.
Here at McShin, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person.
At the McShin Foundation, we believe in helping people reach their full potential.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in multiple pathways to recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in placing principles before personalities to help spread hope.
Here at McShin, we believe that recovery is possible, and that any person seeking recovery can become a more acceptable, responsible, and productive member of society.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in self-discovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in saving lives and offering second chances.
Here at McShin, we believe you can do this.
Here at McShin Foundation, we believe that we can only keep what we have by giving away, which is why we continue to help others like us seek and find recovery.
Welcome back, everyone. All right, so I have a question. How did your relationships with your family members change or not change when you decided to live your life in sobriety?
Well, my mother was actually the one that took me to my first AA meeting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I woke up one day and, that night I was doing the typical, binge drinking. I think I was up to 6 o'clock in the morning drinking mango carts. That was my shit. And I only know that because I saw a video I took of myself on my front porch. I was like, what the fuck? And I woke up that morning and the relationship I was in at the time, she was saying that I was flirting with one of our friends and calling her her name while she was upstairs. We were living together at the time. So anyways, I just woke up and it was just the typical remorse, guilt, and I just really I wanted to hurt myself. And so she actually called my mom, and my mom dropped everything and drove 4.5 hours to see me. And we went to the nearest AA meeting, and she sat in the car, and I was like, I got this. Went inside and just cried the entire time I was there, because I finally was like, wow, there's actually people that understand what I'm going through, and I'm not alone. So my mom has been very supportive. Her dad was an alcoholic, so she definitely understands to an extent what I am going through. My dad hasn't been very supportive because his business kind of is surrounded by alcohol, which is fine. I've accepted the fact that he just doesn't understand my situation, so that's okay. My relationship with my siblings and my grandparents have become a lot stronger, because I just didn't want to talk to anybody when I was drinking. My mom or my sister would call me, and I literally would not give them the time of day. I was just I don't want to talk to these people. And now I call them because I want to talk to them. So I would say that I've these relationships have grown a lot since I've stopped drinking, because I realized just how important it is to have relationships with your family members. You got to have that community to support you.
It's an important community to have.
Yeah.
When I went back home for Thanksgiving, and I saw some cousins and extended family, I didn't realize what a huge asshole I was until one of my cousins said, "It's so nice to have a conversation with you. I feel like you haven't mentally been here in years, and it's been so nice to actually talk to you. It's the good old days." And I was like, damn, I really was sucking. But my relationships were in a downward spiral with my whole family while I was drinking, especially like the last 6 months of drinking. But it's crazy how when you stop doing that, things really change for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good supportive family throughout sobriety is really important. My situation's obviously different than yours because you know how my parents are both in recovery. So that's always interesting. And like your mom does drink,
Yeah.
but she's respectful to you about that.
Yeah, for sure. She's very respectful, I would say.
And your sister also.
Yeah, my sister drinks. We actually talked about that when I went to visit her in Utah. She was just saying like, she did have an issue like throughout college at VCU drinking, and she realized that, but her addiction is like she throws herself into like sports and like rock climbing and mountain biking and snowboarding and skiing and stuff like that. So she has like a really like safe outlet for her obsessions. And
Kind of like that book that you're reading right now.
yeah, exactly.
What's it called?
67 Meters Anywhere.
Nice.
It's a good one. I recommend.
Well, Art, you have anything else you want to chime in with?
No, not really. I appreciate you coming on the podcast and sharing your story with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Layla, I
thanks,
appreciate
Cam.
it. Thanks for bringing Cam on.
Of course. She's the best.
What's the future looking like for you, Cam? Like, you're going to school, right?
Yeah, I'm at VCU's Masters of Social Work program.
Nice.
I see myself, working maybe in public schools with like middle-aged children, maybe, because I really like kids and how they think. And I think there's like more intervention there because I did work with adults.
What's a middle-aged child? I'm sorry.
Like 10, 15.
Okay.
Life stage. Come on, Layla. Okay. But with social work, there's, just endless possibilities. I still have 2 years to go in the program. But yeah.
You're a full-time student?
Part-time right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else?
No, just have a great day, everyone.
Stay in the herd.
Stay in the herd.